In Singapore, wildlife lives closer than you think. Sometimes right at our doorstep.
We received a case, right, about
yes.
I think a snake confined in a
Correct.
residential house.
But every wild encounter begins with the green that makes it possible. From there, the city comes alive. All across the island, green is everywhere, lining the roads, shading the parks, and threading through our neighborhoods. In the 1960s, Singapore set out to be a garden city, planting trees to make life cooler and calmer. In 2011, that vision grew into a city in a garden, stitching green into daily life. And today, it's a city in nature, where the green isn't just in the city, it's part of it. From the trees that shade our streets to the wildlife that moves through the city, it all depends on the people who care for them. Plant by plant, animal by animal.
So there are a few factors to consider when selecting the tree species for the location.
That work often starts here, with arborists like Jia Hua. Planting and caring for trees that give nature room to grow. Here at Cranwell Road in Changi, he's creating a planting palette that fits its coastal setting.
So in the case of Cranwell Road, it is in the Changi area, we will make use of coastal and rainforest species that is suitable for the theme there. We also need to understand the microclimate, site condition. We need to know what is the planting verge, the amount of sunlight you will receive in the day, and if there is any shade that is cast by tall buildings beside it.
Once a tree is in the ground, the work doesn't stop.
First, observing the tree as a whole, see if the tree is leaning, is the crown sparse, is it symmetrical or asymmetrical. Then I'll move on to the trunk. I'll watch out for cavity, any exposed dead wood, because it may mean there is a hidden decay inside the trunk.
Each check keeps green spaces healthy, offering shade, food and shelter to the wildlife that shares the city. From here, the work shifts from planting to watching. In the northwest of Singapore, Chestnut Nature Park stretches into the forests of the central catchment. Home to wildlife most people never get to see in person.
Despite Singapore being a very small country, we actually hold a lot of biodiversity.
Maxine is part of the team that keeps watch over the park's wild residents. Her work takes her off the main trails into the quieter corners, where signs of wildlife are easy to miss unless you know where to look. One of the tools Maxine uses to track and observe wildlife is the camera trap that records animals as they pass by.
We will do a recce prior to setting up the camera traps to determine where we should set them up. If we want to know what is in the area, so like the presence of an animal, we want to put it in an area where an animal will most likely cross.
In this area, mouse deer have been spotted, and Maxine is here to study their numbers.
Our camera traps can actually run 24/7, triggered by the motion or heat sensors. So most of the time, as a lot of Singapore's animals are nocturnal, we only see them in infrared and in black and white.
Knowing what's out there and how they move helps decide which plants to grow, so there's food waiting in the forest or where to add a bridge for wildlife to cross safely.
So for example, we have recently gotten camera trap footage of the Raffles banded langur using the EcoLink bridge, and this is very heartening for us, which means that our bridges are working and they feel safe enough, because they are actually very shy creatures, to use the bridge. Reviewing camera trap footage can be very exciting at times when you actually get the animals that you don't expect. So for example, I have never personally seen a Malayan porcupine in the wild, but we have an entire family of Malayan porcupines walking along right in front of the camera trap.
Some animals stay deep in the forest. Others wander closer to where we live. And when that happens, nature sometimes needs a helping hand.
We received a case, right, about
yes.
I think a snake confined in a residential house. Everything-
That's where Chanel and the wildlife rescue team come in. She's just been called to a home in Adam Road where a snake has been spotted.
We have had instances where maybe animals are stuck in a certain location or they're injured, for example. So we actually send the team down to rescue the animal safely and hopefully can retrieve it back and release it to the suitable natural habitat.
For every rescue, Chanel's goal is simple.
Okay, so now it's over there. Okay, so we will help to rescue the snake from the area. Okay, thank you.
Keep people safe and secure the animal in good condition.
Yeah, sadly it's dead. Okay. Yeah.
It's not the outcome they wanted, but even on days like this, the effort isn't wasted.
Yeah, okay. I think next time, better not to handle by yourself. You can immediately call our NParks hotline. Then you can come and safely remove the snake.
Every call is a chance to share how we can live alongside the wild creatures in our midst.
We really try to strive for the awareness and the appreciation part, because some of these native animals are beneficial for our ecosystems. Like our snakes, like our pythons, help in pest control. So they are like a natural pest control company, basically. So it's good to actually have these animals to actually help with this ecological balance in Singapore.
While today's rescue didn't go as hoped, many others do. And they are brought here to the Center for Wildlife Rehabilitation.
We'll just get a full weight on the little guy.
Yuan is the vet on duty today. She makes sure that every rescued animal at the center is healthy, stable, and on track to return to the wild.
The moment an animal arrives, it goes through a process known as triaging. We give the animal a proper physical exam. For animals like civet cats, they can be quite aggressive, so the way to safely examine them is to give them a bit of sedation.
Today's patient is a civet cat found in a residential area. It's calm now, and Yuan gets to work.
We examine the heart rate. We also do things like checking the teeth. We check for dehydration in the animal. We also check whether there is anything in the belly, so we do like a little feel of the belly area.
This helps Yuan decide what the animal needs next and how soon it might be ready to go back to the wild.
For animals such as young civets, we want to make sure that they reach a certain weight before they are put out into the wild, because that ensures their longer-term survivability when they're on their own.
What it takes to be ready for release isn't the same for every animal. For birds, it's all about flight. Not just taking off, but staying in the air long enough to survive. That's what the bird rehabilitation room is for. A larger space with trees and branches to rebuild their wings. Some patients come with scales. In the next room, 2 rescued pythons are ready for one final step before being released.
We will be microchipping the snakes, as we want to know if these snakes are ever recaptured, where they came from, which also helps us to gain a better understanding of how pythons are moving around Singapore.
It's a tiny chip, but it can reveal a lot. Every bit of data adds to a bigger picture. How wildlife moves, how it adapts, and how we can build a city that makes space for it.
Every animal has its place in the food chain in the ecosystem, and ensuring that these populations continue to persist for a long time, I think is really important.
A city woven with nature doesn't happen by chance. It takes planning to grow green where it matters, awareness to notice wildlife even when it's hidden, and care to give every animal a chance to survive and return to the wild. Because living in a city that shares space with nature means making space for it every day.